Everyone imagines medieval castles as freezing stone fortresses, where every winter was a battle against the cold. Hollywood has filled our minds with roaring fireplaces, shivering nobles wrapped in fur, and endless stone halls that never escape the winter air. History tells a different story. Before sunrise, a servant crosses the great hall carrying glowing charcoal, whitens frost the narrow windows. Yet the Lord is already hearing petitions beneath heavy tapestries as breakfast is prepared nearby. The room is cool, but no one expected it to feel like a modern home. Because comfort came from managing the cold, not defeating it. That single idea shaped every castle, where people slept, where fires burned, how rooms were built, even how servants moved through the building. Once you understand that principle, a castle no longer looks like a failed attempt at warmth. It becomes a carefully designed machine for controlling heat. Modern buildings try to eliminate the seasons with insulation and central heating. Medieval builders knew that warming thousands of tons of stone was impossible. So they pursued a different goal. Instead of heating the entire castle, they concentrated heat where it mattered most and accepted that other spaces would remain cold. That was not primitive thinking. It was practical engineering. A great hall rose beneath a vast roof that swallowed warmth. Staircases carried hot air upward like chimneys. Every fire consumed valuable firewood that had to be cut, hauled, dried, and stored long before winter arrived. The challenge was never creating heat. It was deciding where every degree of warmth would have the greatest value. Touch a castle wall before sunrise, and it feels like ice. That has led many people to believe the stone itself made castles unbearably cold. In reality, the opposite was often true. Stone absorbed heat slowly. It released heat just as slowly. Occupied castles rarely started each winter morning from freezing temperatures. Kitchen fires burned before dawn, bakers heated ovens, brewers boiled mash, blacksmiths lit their forges. Candles, hearths, and cooking fires quietly fed warmth into the building every day. The walls stored part of that energy. Not enough to make the castle warm, but enough to slow sudden drops in temperature. Unlike timber houses, which quickly heated and cooled with the weather, thick stone walls helped create a more stable indoor climate. The walls were never trying to warm people. They were slowing the arrival of the cold. But the greatest secret wasn't hidden inside the stone. It was hidden in the way people used the building. Modern homes try to keep every room at nearly the same temperature. Castles worked differently. They created islands of heat. The great hall, kitchens, and private chambers received constant attention because they were used every day. Corridors, towers, storerooms, and gatehouses often remained cool, saving enormous amounts of fuel and labor. People adjusted their lives to that invisible map of temperatures. Meals were shared near the hearth. Estate business took place where fires already burned. Private conversations moved into smaller chambers that trapped warmth far better than the vast ceremonial hall. The castle wasn't heated evenly. It was managed intelligently. And nowhere was that idea more ingenious than in the rooms where people slept. The greatest luxury in a medieval castle was rarely a roaring fireplace. It was a well-designed bed. Heavy curtains surrounded the bed like a small room within a room, trapping precious body heat throughout the night. Thick wool blankets, feather mattresses, fur covers, and sometimes warmed stones wrapped in cloth created a surprisingly comfortable refuge, even when frost covered the windows outside. Private chambers followed the same principle. Lower ceilings, fewer doors, and thick wooden panels held heat far better than the vast Great Hall. Rich tapestries added another layer of insulation, while reducing cold drafts from stone walls. The goal was never to warm the entire castle. It was to protect the people living inside it. Comfort came from creating small pockets of warmth exactly where they were needed. A castle did not keep itself comfortable. Its people did. Modern homes rely on thermostats. Medieval castles relied on routines perfected over generations. Before dawn, servants revived dying embers instead of wasting fuel by lighting new fires. Shutters were opened to welcome winter sunlight, then closed again when icy winds returned. Doors remained shut whenever possible to prevent valuable heat from escaping. Every log burned represented hours of work in the surrounding forests. Even clothing formed part of the system. Layers of wool, linen, and fur were not signs the castles had failed. They were essential tools for conserving body heat, allowing buildings to remain practical without consuming impossible amounts of fuel. The castle and its inhabitants worked together as one carefully balanced system. But one enemy still threatened all their efforts: moving air. Cold stone was rarely the greatest problem. Drafts were. Builders understood this through experience, centuries before anyone could explain the science of airflow. Narrow windows reduced heat loss. Heavy wooden shutters blocked icy winds. Thick doors separated living spaces from towers and staircases, preventing warm air from disappearing upward through the building. Fireplaces improved as chimney design evolved. Better draft control produced hotter fires, carried smoke away more efficiently, and wasted less fuel. Every improvement served the same purpose: not creating more heat, keeping the heat they already had. That quiet efficiency mattered far more than enormous fireplaces ever could. Today, we often imagine comfort as a constant indoor temperature. Medieval people understood it differently. Stone softened sudden changes. Small chambers trapped heat. Beds became insulated shelters. Clothing preserved warmth. Servants managed fires with remarkable care. Every element solved a small part of the problem. Together, they formed one of the Middle Ages' most intelligent survival systems. This is why the familiar image of a freezing medieval castle is only half true. Many rooms were indeed cold. They were meant to be. The people who built castles never tried to conquer winter. They accepted it as part of life and focused instead on controlling its effects with remarkable precision. That was the true genius of medieval castle design. The greatest luxury was never perfect warmth. It was knowing exactly where warmth was needed and making sure it stayed there. Because in the end, comfort never came from defeating the cold. It came from learning to manage it.